Hey, welcome back to the Secret Underground Lair. So today we're working on just finessing the joints of these tables. So on this one, for example, you can see we have a really nice fit all the way across. And I'm labeling them. So piece F meets piece F, piece E meets piece E. And what we're trying to do is just kind of make sure that the joints are not looking like this with a little gap in them. Just trying to close them all up, get nice and tight joints everywhere. So that is today's adventure. So looking at this particular joint, you can see we still have that little bit of a gap there, a little less than 1/16 of an inch. And what this turns out to be is right here, and you can see it on this end. That little bit sticks up, a little proud of this piece. And the same is true going in this direction. So I'm going to get some sandpaper and just sand off that little tiny ridge that exists there. Came about when we were widening that tenon just a little wee bit. So I'm going to take care of that with some sandpaper. So I got a little piece of paper put in a block, and it's not going to take much to get rid of this. Let's see how that fits. That goes right in. I'll bring you in close for a look at that. And that's the difference. Just that little wee tiny bit of sanding makes a world of difference in terms of the joint. So I'm going to do that with our other piece until we have all fitting just like that. So with just a little bit of finessing, we have these joins now lining up perfectly. I'm very pleased with the result of that. Our corners are just lining up exactly how we want them to line up. So that's all good. Happy with that table. So I'm going to do the same kind of finessing now on the other table. And get that to fit as well as this one. All right, got our second table up on work surface now. I've finessed all these joints, and I'm quite happy with the fit. The fit is nice all the way around. So next on this will be getting the shelf. So I'll put that in here, I'll notch out the corners and get that sitting in properly. So I have all the corners now marked on this shelf. So I'm just going to do the same kind of cuts I did on the bands on the last shelf. So I'll come back when I have these corners knocked out. And there is the shelf on our second table. So I'm very pleased with the fit of that. So I got one table here, got the other table over there. Now I'm going to start working on the drawers. All right, plan for the drawers. They're going to be, the drawer bodies are going to be 4 inches in height. There'll be a plywood insert on the bottom of them. We're going to do a box tail on the back, joining the back to the sides. But the front is going to be a blind dovetail going into the face of the drawer. Because the face of the drawer is going to cover these obviously, and be a little bit wider than the drawer. So the back of the drawer width is 15.5. The width of the drawer front is actually 16.25. So it's going to be a little bit of a little tricky work on the front of the drawer here. And I'm going to do the dovetail parts first. So I'm cutting the drawers, the drawer blanks, the sides of the drawers, to 17 inches. That's going to be trimmed up closer to about 16 3/8 or 16 1/4 by the time we're done, depending on the depth of the dovetail that we put in here. So I have some maple lined up, and we're going to make the drawer bodies out of maple. And we're going to give this a clear finish on the inside, just clear everything. We won't be staining this. So, got the pieces marked. I'm going to run them through the saw to get down to some rough blanks. So for this piece, I'm going to adjust the fence out just a little wee bit. This board had a bit of a cup to it, so as I was putting it through, this piece wound up being tilted kind of like that. And as a result, this face here is not going to be perpendicular. So what I'll do is I'll move the fence over a little bit, run this through to get a clean straight edge on this side, then I can flip it over and get a straight edge on this, perpendicular edge on this side. At the 4 inches that we're looking for. Okay, I'm inclined at this point to run these pieces through the thickness planer just to kind of smooth up these sides. This is a sawmill driven piece, so I would like to get it a little bit cleaner and consistent across the surface. All right, I changed the point of view for this operation, and I'm going to put you on time lapse because this will be a pretty long one. But enjoy the planing, hopefully the music. Happy with that maple. This turned out really nice. Just some beautiful clear maple all the way through. On one of these short pieces I do have a little knot, but that's just some beautiful coloration on this wood. I'm liking it. Beautiful drawers. So next phase, we're going to cut this to the appropriate length, and then we can start working on the dovetail ends. Okay, this is a little unnerving. You take the tool off the work surface and you find a miscellaneous screw lying there. I gotta figure out where did this screw come from. Back in a minute. All right, mystery solved. The screw fell out of the cover plate on the bottom that hides the gear and shaft that adjusts the horizontal position of the blade. So in fact I had been missing 2 screws, so I put a replacement screw in from my little stash of screws, and I'll put this one that I found on the table. Just slip that guy back in, get it all tightened up. I guess I must have missed that screw here when that one fell out. Anyway, we're all good. Wasn't from anything a major component that was going to cause a catastrophic failure, so we're all good. All right, I'm just going to be doing some rough cutting here. So I'm first cutting this piece off to get a square line here and make this piece a little bit easier to manage. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other long piece. Then I'm going to set up the fence to 17 inches and begin cutting 8 17-inch sides. Then we'll set the fence to 15 inches and do the 4 15-inch backs. saw a bunch of sawdust flying out the back. I forgot to plug the hose up. All right, so at the fence, make some more cuts. I put a line on that piece just to make sure I get it square, but I see as I put it through the saw, it is not coming out square at all. I'm off by about 1/16 of an inch. So let me deal with that, figure out where my problem is. I suspect it's right there. Be back in a minute. Okay, problem was a little, had a little daub of glue that must have leaked or somehow got onto the face of the miter. So just got that cleaned off, made a test cut, and we're back to square. We're fine. So now I'll just carry on with the cuts. All right, there are the 4 backs for our drawers, 8 sides for the drawers. Stack them up like this. Front, 2 sides and the back. Front, front. 2 sides in the back, and finally front, 2 sides in the back. So the front will be this just beautiful red oak and blend in perfectly with the piece. It's this the fronts that I have for the pieces are in my opinion, the nicest oak that we've cut for these pieces. So this is just spectacular stuff. And then we have some just beautiful maple that will just finish up lovely on the inside without any stain that we apply to the yoke. So these will be done independently. It'll be stunning. So I'm looking forward to that. But I think that'll have to be tomorrow's video when we start on the dovetail joints. So the dovetail will have a male end on the end of this piece and a blind slot on the drawer, so it'll fit in. Once those dovetails are cut, then we'll work on the box joints at the back of the drawer. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And tomorrow we do drawer joinery.